Wings win 5-4 over the Toronto Maple Leafs in overtime. Now, I don't know if you remember way back a couple months ago, early in the season when we first played the Maple Leafs, you could describe that as a game that very early on broke me, because it definitely wasn't the most revolting loss that would come later, and it wasn't even the loss where they played the worst. It was just the most frustrating loss. Everything that could go wrong did. Well, this game. Let's talk about this game. Heading into this game, the script was already written. Here are the Leafs, one of the best teams in the league. The Leafs are 20-8, and now they're getting back William Nylander in Toronto, and they're playing the Red Wings, who, even if we're not factually the worst team in the league, there's very few teams that are less impressive than us if you don't follow us. You look at the defense and you might think it's the worst defense in the league, which you might have a case for. You look at the forwards, and again, if you don't follow this team, there's nothing you can really see that's special there. Combine that with the fact that the Wings are on the road, and we're missing 5 players: DeKaiser, Daly, Helm, Mantha, and Bertuzzi. This game is a write-off, right? You have the Leafs, who are incredible and getting stronger, and the Wings, who, at least on paper, suck and are getting worse. It's just going to be an automatic Leafs win. Obviously, they're going to win like 12-3. And William Nylander is getting a hat trick. Well, you see, the problem with going into a game with that attitude is that sometimes, and this has happened to a couple teams this season, sometimes the Wings will surprise you. The first 5 minutes are back and forth. You know, Leafs getting chances, Wings getting chances. Pretty normal. There's nothing. The Wings don't look too bad. They also don't look amazing. They just look like generally okay. Janssen cross zone pass to Gardner, who puts it on. Who puts it on Kapanen's stick right in front of the net. He bats it in, and it's 1-0 Toronto early. And I'm just sitting there. I'm actually in the library while I'm watching this game. So I didn't really want to be that loud. That comes into play later, by the way. So I was just kind of sitting down and I was like, ugh. It's going to be one of those games, isn't it? It's going to be one of those games. But no. Interesting thing about this game, this is actually the battle of the Leafs 2015-2016 goalie situation. Bernier versus Sparks. Soon after the Kapanen goal. The Wings are cycling in the Leaf zone, getting some good offense on. As usual in games when the Wings win or at least competitive, they don't quit. They just rush. They don't let you have a second. Where they're not attacking you and hindering you and just being a little bit annoying. So the Wings are cycling in their own zone. Puck goes up the boards to Jonathan Ericsson. Ericsson shoots. There's no way Sparks can see that, and he scores. Tie game. All right, still going. And I had thoughts similar to the Lightning game, in that man, the Wings are probably going to lose this one, but they're keeping pace with one of the best teams in the league. And I figured the Leafs would then strike back, and it was going to be a really high scoring game. Leafs win. But no. Then, Delarose is coming in the zone from pass off of Kronwall. Delarose passes it up to Kronwall. Both Kronwall and Zaitsev chop it at the same time. Meanwhile, Igor Ozhiganov is right in front of Garrett Sparks, and Glendening is streaking in off the left wing. When Zaitsev and Kronwall slash into the puck zips right onto Glendening's stick. He shoots it. Garrett Sparks is screened again, this time by his own player, and you can't really fault him for that. And to be fair, I mean, between the first couple periods, Detroit was way out shooting them. Again, Bernier just like, wow, I'm in the Air Canada Center, and Leafs are getting outshot. It's so nice to be on the other side of that. Despite all this, Leafs are still putting on pressure. Even though the shot count is heavily in Detroit's favor, Detroit blocked a lot more shots than the Leafs, which shows the Leafs were taking lots of shots. Our defensemen were blocking them. Penalty is called. Howard goes to the bench for the extra attacker. A good effort by the Wings to keep the play alive during the delayed penalty. I complain about a lot of things with the Wings, but that's one thing that they seem to do really well. And then the puck goes to Larkin. He gives a beautiful pass to Gus Nyquist. Nyquist has the puck. He fakes. He shoots. He scores. Not the prettiest goal for Garrett Sparks to give up, but a beautiful goal by Gus Nyquist. This is Gus Nyquist, and he has been great all season, and he's been snake-bitten all season, so it's great to finally see him getting some goals, getting rewarded for it, and it's 3-1 Wings. Second period, and the Wings now are completely outshooting the Leafs. They keep a good cycle in the zone. Green keeps the puck into the line a couple times until he just has it, and he just kind of throws it on from the blue line. And that finds its way in the back of the net, I guess, which is, I mean, I was cheering, but oof, that was not a good goal for Garrett Sparks to give up. But Green has been pretty good. I mean, we got him at the height of, we got him thinking he was a huge goal scorer. Didn't he? I believe he scored like 30 one year with the Caps. So it's good to see Green, you know, being offensive and being useful. 4-1 Leafs. If you're a Wings fan, at least in my, like, the way I was both ecstatic because the Wings are not just staying with the Leafs, but we're outplaying the Leafs. But I'm also just a teensy bit worried that in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, the Leafs can score really fast, and they can score a lot. So in the back of my head, I'm really worried about, obviously, a 3-goal comeback. More immediately after the 4-1 goal, Matthews and Kronwall are skating for a puck. Matthews is a little bit ahead of Kronwall, and he reaches for it, putting himself on balance, and Kronwall runs right into him, and Matthews goes into the board head first. So he's on the ice. Kronwall got 2 for boarding. You could have said he technically wasn't boarding. Probably should have gotten 2 for cross-checking, but either way, I'm just glad that Matthews was able to keep playing. That was a scary hit. It wasn't malicious, definitely wasn't suspendable, but it was a little bit scary. Throughout the second period, Bernier makes a couple incredible saves, so does Garrett Sparks. Beginning in the third period, Gardner gives a beautiful pass up to Morgan Riley. Riley's deep in the zone. He finds Tavares. Tavares wires the top shelf, and it's 4-2. And that little niggling fear that was like, Jacob, they might come back, is getting a little bit bigger. Just like in the Tampa game, just like in the St. Louis game, I'm like, no lead is safe. No lead is safe, especially against this team. One thing I was complaining a lot at the beginning of the season was that the Wings would play pretty well, but once a goal got scored at them, they would panic. After the John Tavares goal, the Wings start to panic. And when they panic, that's great for the Maple Leafs, because the Maple Leafs have multiple ways to kill you. They kept trying with the long pass. We kept blocking that. But now that we're starting to panic, the Leafs can try the other way of killing you, which is just hounding you in your own zone and making amazing passing plays. Marge takes the puck in Detroit's defensive zone, passes it up to Igor Zhirganov with a blast. Hyman tips it in, he scored, the former Wolverine puts it in, it's 4-3, and I'm like, okay, Wings still have a lead. Doesn't feel like it at all, but the Wings still have a lead. And then in ridiculously fast fashion, Matthews is speeding in. He shoots, but he misses, hits the end boards. The puck bounces off the boards right onto Andreas Janssen's stick. He puts it past Bernier, and the Wings once again have given up a 3-goal lead. Oh. Okay, I'm totally on board with the Wings winning. You know? We'll talk about that a little bit after this game, but, you know, I'm obviously, you know, a win is a win. A win is a win. But between the St. Louis game where they gave up a 3-goal lead, and the Tampa Bay game where they gave up 2 separate 2-goal leads and a 1-goal lead, and this game where they gave up a 4-1 lead in Toronto, of course, just because it's way too perfect. They've got to learn how to shut it down, and they've got to learn how to keep their composure after a goal. So that sucks, and I am just head on the table in the middle of a little cubicle in the library, probably looking like an idiot to people around me. Right before the overtime, though, Nick Jensen shoots from high in the zone, and it hits both posts and goes out. No goal. We go to overtime. All in all, throughout this game, Detroit definitely dominated the first half, and Toronto definitely dominated the second half. Now, overtime was a circus. FNC, who had been flying all night, despite not getting any goals, he was probably he showed some of the most talent on the wings. He gives us a brilliant pass to Dylan Larkin. Larkin shoots on in an amazing save by Garrett Sparks. Jonathan Bernier, on the other hand, makes great saves on Patrick Marleau and Mitch Marner and John Tavares. All terrifying forward. One part I really liked, this is some of the unsung plays that young defensemen and defensemen in general do. Matthews is streaking in down the right wing. His trademark spot where he, not just his trademark spot where he scores on a wrist shot, his trademark spot where he wins every game in overtime. Coming down, he attempts a spin-around move around Cholowski. Most defensemen would have given that up. Cholowski just stayed with Matthews, stopped him from being able to wind back the wrist shot, and shut him completely down. Great play by Cholowski, and if he had let Matthews shoot that, the game might have been over. The Leafs are still pressing, so the Leafs are cycling in the wing zone. Morgan Rielly, John Tavares, Mitch Marner, all great players, all all-star candidates. They're all on the ice, and they're cycling it. Larkin, Jensen, and Nyquist are on there for the wings, and they're doing their best. They're trying to shut things down. Mitch Marner skates and pulls Dylan Larkin away from the slot. Mitch Marner then turns. Great pass to John Tavares. I'm like, oh, this is how it's going to end. Tavares has it. Jensen is hard on Tavares. Tavares has to pull away. Then Larkin speeding back, pressuring Tavares. So Tavares turns and gives a pass right onto the stick of Gus Nyquist. How do I describe this next part without getting myself a noise complaint from the RA? Puck goes right onto Nyquist's stick. Nyquist with the sauce over Morgan Rielly onto Dylan Larkin. And once Dylan Larkin's in front of you and he has the puck, it's too late for you. Larkin speeding down the wing, fakes the shot, goes to the 5-hole, scores! And the Wings survive the game and they win 5-4 in overtime. Dylan Larkin now has 3 overtime goals in the season. It's felt like a lot more. It's not just me. He's tied with Brendan Shanahan and Steve Yzerman for overtime goals in the regular season, and we're still in December. And you remember how I told you I was in the library? Yeah, I was on my feet during the overtime, and when Larkin scored the goal, I jumped up and screamed, and like the 1 or 2 people who were still there just kind of looked at me, and I was like, sorry. They're like, oh, it's okay. I'm not sure how to describe this game. Similar to the St. Louis game, do I get mad at them for giving up a 3-goal lead? Or with this team, should I just be happy that they're getting the 3-goal lead in the first place? And this time they came away, and just like the St. Louis game, they came away with 2 points. What we have to decide on is optimism. We can't act as if every win is disastrous. Because, hey, if the Wings make the playoffs, it's great. We also, though, can't act as if every loss is disastrous, too. Because, hey, let's say the Wings don't make the playoffs, we get a low draft spot, we have a chance at a good player. So, the Wings have put ourselves in a great spot this year where if we're good, that's amazing because we're good. But if we lose, we've still been pretty good so far, so it's not that disappointing. So, my message to Wings fans would just be happy. Be content. We're having a great season. We've played exciting hockey. It is eventually going to fall apart. But we've shown that we have players like Bertuzzi and Larkin and Athasiou and Cholowski, and that's not even the people we have waiting the system. We have a good young core. We will eventually be a good young fast team. We can beat some of the best teams in the league. So that's my rant for now. I have been Jacob, and hey, Wings fans. Isn't this so much better than last year? I'll see you later when I talk about the Islanders game. Have a good night.